Ron Moshier standing by from the Observer-Dispatch, and an exciting game, exciting weekend of high school football leads to two teams playing in the Dome for sectional playoff victories. Ron Moshier, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Bill. Yeah, I'm hesitating to say I told you so, but
Yes, you did. Yeah,
I mean, just like last year, you color this season blue, Dowdesville blue and Whitesboro blue,
Yeah.
and we'll see how it goes. They're back in the Carrier Dome finals just like last year, and last year Whitesboro won their second straight Class A title, made it all the way to the state semis, and now they face Indian River yet again. And remember, a few weeks ago in the regular season finale, Indian River unbeaten, Whitesboro pretty much a must-win situation to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Whitesboro wins at home 41-20 in a regular season finale. And, really an emotionally charged night at Chiz Fry Field. And then they turn around this past Friday and beat the East Syracuse Manoa team that beat them by 1 point earlier in the season. And they did it in dramatic fashion. I wish I was there, but I've seen it on tape. I've talked to people who were right in the fray, and it must have been one of the most amazing finishes ever for a football team. I mean, a goal line stand. You got ESM with a 265-pound fullback who is going to come right up the gut, and they stopped him. Whitesboro stopped him on the very last play of the game from about the 1 yard line. So
wow.
I mean, it doesn't get more dramatic than that, especially from a defensive standpoint.
This is and how do you take that excitement and that victory, and you can take momentum, but that's such a huge win. Almost any win that happens from here on out, it'll be hard to beat a win like that.
Exactly. Even if they wind up winning a sectional title here this next Friday night, let's face it, the Indian River team will be, this is an understatement, highly motivated because of the regular season loss that would have put that they would be unbeaten. That's their only loss. Yeah. And Indian River last year coming to the Dome, and I think it was 17-7 lost to Whitesboro. So I mean, talk about motivated. And Indian River is built on speed, and of course the weather's not going to be a factor. They're going to be at the Dome on turf. So I mean, it's going to be another big challenge for Whitesboro's defense, I think. But if they can grind it out and keep it away from Indian River, that'd be great. The only thing I don't like about the matchup, from my point of view, Bill, is that they're both nicknamed the Warriors. So you have to watch it when you're writing your story. But it should be a great matchup, a great rematch. And right now, Whitesboro with Dave Camerata at quarterback, Phil Gilberti's running the ball. He's obviously one of the best players in all of Section 3 as a running back and a linebacker. Yep. And, we'll see how it goes. It should be a great one. That's the nightcap of the doubleheader on Friday night, 8 o'clock.
I like the fact that both local teams are playing on Friday night. That's cool. Earlier in the evening at 5 p.m., Dowdesville will be playing Bishop Ludden. Talk about their win over Onondaga, 32-28. That's another close game. Was it as close as the score says?
Well, I would say probably yes, only because I know Dowdesville was ahead 22-8, and then all of a sudden it's 22-22, and then in the second half they start pulling away. Dowdesville starts pulling away, and Onondaga completes. I think it was a 71-yard touchdown pass. A little too close for comfort, but Onondaga had been playing great defense all year, and I wasn't surprised that they at least slowed down Dowdesville's running game. But, Dowdesville getting the safety and then returning the free kick for a touchdown, I think it was Zach Carpenter in the second half, that really turned that game around, and then they kept the lead the rest of the way, even though it was a bit precarious at the end. But I don't know, Dowdesville, I've said it all along, these seniors, there's a bunch of them who started as sophomores, all of them, several of them, and we're talking Devin Gorenchuk, Nick Bailey, Asen Kloss, Chase Docksetter's been starting the last 2 years there. I mean, they're hungry. I know it sounds funny.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Dowsville's won 16 sectional titles. Nobody's won even close to that.
Yeah.
And you know, to say that they're hungry, but they are. It's been a little while here, and I think these seniors are ready to go out a winner.
All right.
And they face a very, very good Bishop Ludden team. Believe me. I covered the game last year in the quarterfinals.
Yep.
At Dowsville. And when these stars, the star quarterback and receiver for Bishop Ludden were only juniors, it was 48-42 shootout. And I believe the quarterback threw 5 touchdown passes. He's 6'4", 235, and he threw 4 or 5 touchdown passes against Dowsville last year as a junior. And again, we're playing in the Dome. So Dowsville's defense is really going to have to step up, especially in the secondary, because this quarterback and receiver, Joe Connor, outstanding, both all-state players. So,
all right, I want to talk one final question I want to hit at you. I want to review the two teams that didn't make it through the weekend who had awesome seasons. First, though, Wayne with a question on high school football. Wayne, you're on with Ron Moshier. Go ahead.
How are you guys doing? Roger, I just got a question. If the kid plays like all 4 seasons for high school, and the team does pretty good all 4 seasons, they end up going to the Dome a couple times. I think this will be the second time. If the person is a second stringer, I said, in your opinion, I want to know, does this mean a lot? And the kid's a senior now. Does this mean a lot, even as a second stringer, that this would be his last year? And do the championships mean as much to a second stringer as it does to, like, say, someone who starts every game?
Okay.
Wow. I would say yes, because you're a part of it every day at practice. Yeah. I mean, because it's a team. Me, and again, obviously this is over 40 years ago, but my best memories of any sport I ever played was high school football. Right. I mean, well, A, I wasn't a second teamer, but B, I didn't play in the Carrier Dome either. Right. There was no Carrier Dome. Yeah. There were no Section 3 playoffs. So I still think it's special. I really do, especially when you're talking a powerhouse like Dowsville and Whitesboro that go back there time and time again.
Yeah. Interesting question. That was interesting, Wayne. Finally, if you would, Ron, Sequoia VVS both had great seasons. Their seasons came to an end. Somebody asked about the List brothers from Sequoia as well that had a great season.
Yeah, I think it's Lights. The two linemen up front, and I think only one of them is a senior. But Sequoia, to me, is one of the feel-good stories of the year because, let's face it, even against Ludden, I believe it was 14-14, and really what turned that game around by the sounds was a 80-some-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And I think that turned that game around. I mean, I'm at the office, and Mark Wells covering the game, and it's 14-14, and I'm like, all right, Sequoia is giving them a game.
Yeah.
Bishop Ludden wound up pulling away in the end, but let's face it, Sequoia had, to me, one of the feel-good stories of the year, if not the feel-good story, because first-year head coach Joe Inglis, he played for Pat Cahill at Sequoia. I think their whole staff did. Todd Martin, Eric Bullock, and they had some sons and nephews playing on that team. Very huge, very big up front, and I think almost everybody there is a junior. Plus, they're going to have to replace, obviously, Garrett Evans, an all-state running back who rushed for well over 1,000 yards. Ben Vanderpool, to me, one of the tougher, better all-around players around at fullback and linebacker. They're going to be tough to replace. But it was, to me, great to see Sequoia Valley back on its feet. Remember, a few years ago, not too long ago, they were in the playoffs, but they were the NFF playoffs, not really the Section 3 playoffs. That was when they were trying to get their pump some new life back in the program. Yeah. And if this year doesn't do it, I don't know what will. All the dramatic comebacks they had this year showed a lot of character, and I think that program's back. VBS, Vernon Verona Sherrill, I mean, Gary Oliver, his son's the quarterback. His nephew is a star player, Nate Palmer. I think his son's still only a junior, Alex Oliver, and I know he left that game with an injury. I do not know how serious. And Homer is unbeaten, 9-0 and wound up winning 34-0. BVS couldn't do anything offensively, but had a great season. I think finished 7-2, and their 2 losses are to the 2 teams who are playing in the Class B championship game, Homer and perennial power Casanova. So that's not bad at all. I mean, they don't make it to the Dome. They were trying for the second time in 3 years, but they lose to 2 9-0 teams. So I think BVS can be proud of that, and I don't think we've heard of the last of them either.
All right, Ron, great stuff. Going to be a big weekend, big Friday. Nice that it's on Friday, both local games.
I wish Whitesboro wasn't playing the 8 o'clock game.
Yeah,
I know you said you're glad that it's a doubleheader with 2 local teams. From my point of view, selfishly, I wish it was Saturday, the 2 and the 5 o'clock games. I think, but anyway, it should be color Friday night blue. And remember, you got the Comets at home. Oh my gosh, everything's happening at once. We're overlapping.
Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
The World Series might be one of the best ever.
Yeah, this is crazy with all these home runs. It's just I've never seen that ball fly like this. It's just incredible.
No. Hey, last night when you think Kershaw has a 3-0 lead right away.
Yeah,
what are the chances his team's going to lose 13-12 in 10 innings or whatever it was? So, crazy.
Yeah. All right, and late, by the way. Crazy and late. It was 6th inning at midnight. Wow. All right, Ron, thanks. Read all about it in the Utica Observer Dispatch. We appreciate it. We'll talk again on Monday and see who wins it all.
All right, thank you.